You're the best there is. Let everybody know how to connect with you, and we always appreciate the conversation.
Certainly can get in touch with us on our Twitter feed at Brent Beaird, Beaird. Brother Brett and I have all the vowels in the alphabet just about. So certainly also at Second Helping, a new podcast that we're doing with Travis Ryer. Well, we certainly enjoy that. First Coast News, things are getting busy also with that. But, guys, always great to be with you, and just excited about another SEC weekend. And, look, we didn't have time to get to it, but that Missouri-Kentucky game, frankly, not only in the SEC, guys, to me, that's one of the bigger games in the nation tomorrow.
Yeah, because the winner of that game, to me, takes a huge step forward in having
It does.
chance to finish in the upper half of the SEC East, Brent.
Oh, yeah, there's no question about that. And the great thing is, I was able to survive the interview because one of my cats got scared of something and ran right over me with his claws. So I'm going to have to get the hydrogen peroxide out in a few minutes and take care of my wounds. But people never understand that when we do radio, either in the studio or elsewhere, just what obstacles we may face during the interview, right?
Hey, didn't miss a beat there, Brent. We appreciate it. Thanks, man.
My pleasure.
Brent Beaird joining us from Jacksonville, Florida this morning, talking about SEC, ACC football. And speaking of the SEC and ACC, he coached in both conferences. Georgia set to honor Mark Richt at the halftime game of the Missouri game, November 6th. Georgia going to honor Mark Richt, who is dealing with health concerns of his own.
Yeah, I think he's been diagnosed with Parkinson's, so
yeah.
Thoughts and prayers out to Coach. I know he's been a good friend of 97.7 The Zone, no doubt. And we're going to break down one of the other SEC matchups when we come back. We're going to talk to Trey Biddy, hogsports.com, because as Scott said earlier in the show, Texas and Arkansas, do the Hogs have a chance to get what would be a huge win for Sam Pittman, the biggest during his tenure in his second season with the Hogs?
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Guys, when we were 20, we never had to worry about spontaneity. And now that we've gotten older, spontaneity has been replaced with pills and injections. We're just trying to keep that intimacy, but it's taken away from spontaneity. At Advanced Life Clinic, we now offer GainsWave, which uses sound waves to non-invasively treat this issue with no need for pills or injections. Just give us a call, 256-888-9367, or check us out online, advancedlifeclinic.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. The electrical panel is the heart of your home's electrical system. Malfunctions can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk or in the dark altogether. Fixing it quickly will help keep you and your family safe. So trust our team of electrical experts at Mr. Sparky to get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Chad, cue the cheesy Italian music. So you're in charge of the dinner spot, and the family is a hard group to please. Dad wants award-winning 21-day age certified Angus beef. Mom craves authentic Italian food like great grandma. Sissy pretty much won't eat anything but fresh seafood. And old life of the party, Uncle Walter, likes to enjoy a cigar after dinner with some live local entertainment and some killer cocktails. So you think you're in a pickle? Well, you're not. Relax. I'm Tom Chapman, chef at Nick's Ristorante at 10300 Bailey Cove Road, just south of Weatherly. We have all that and more. Our friendly and helpful staff is eager to help you Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 5. So, corral that crazy crew of yours and give us a call at 256-489-8280 or tell them to check us out at nicksristorante.com. I promise you, the gang will all think you're a culinary cruise director of awesomeness if you take them all to Nick's. See you soon. Ciao. Okay, Chad, kill that music.
Nick's is for patrons 19 or older.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. The electrical panel is the heart of your home's electrical system. Malfunctions can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk or in the dark altogether. Fixing it quickly will help keep you and your family safe. So trust our team of electrical experts at Mr. Sparky to get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Maybe the air doesn't blow like it should, or it's needing new tires, or you're just ready for something newer. It's time to move up, time to trade up. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and it's the perfect time to trade in and trade up because your current car or truck is worth more than you know. In fact, we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't trade. We have nearly 100 Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned models to choose from. Our Ford Gold certified or low mileage, gently used vehicles with great warranties. They've passed a 172-point inspection by certified technicians, come with a 24-hour roadside assistance, plus a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. It's the perfect time to trade in and trade up because your vehicle is worth more right now at Woody Anderson Ford. Corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
Good morning from the Traffic Center. Got an update on that wreck westbound on 565 on the ramp to southbound Parkway. Reported with injuries. They canceled Himsey on that one. And we got a medical call eastbound on 565. This one's on Chapman Mount. May have a lane blocked up there because of that. The Somnodent from Dr. Sandman's an easy-to-use oral device. No mask, no hose, and it's insurance accepted for sleep apnea and for snoring. 350-CARE or RandallSandlin.com. Captain Nick in the North Parkway, Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
Football season is here.
Got a touchdown on a slant play. Rayleigh Cooper a catch. Oh my!
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Paul Feinbaum. Listen to me coming up today at 2. Now back to Talking Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Last week we had Florida State trying to make a statement against Notre Dame that they are working their way back to maybe becoming one of the elite in college football. Baby steps. This week, if you look at college football, there's teams that have that chance again. One of them is in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Arkansas has a chance, albeit maybe not as big as Notre Dame, but Texas is ranked, for a chance to have Sam Pittman get that signature win and a chance for people to say maybe Arkansas is coming back to the middle of the pack of the SEC.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think Arkansas made huge strides under Sam Pittman in his first season. But, I mean, he had probably the biggest rebuilding project to take on. I thought their highlight was, of course, what they did to Matt Corral, Elijah Moore, and Ole Miss. In Fayetteville and the way they played so well defensively. And Sam Pittman, it wasn't a aesthetically beautiful performance in the first week against Rice, but it was a win, and it was one where they fell behind double digits. And in the past, this is a program where wouldn't have been able to recover, but they recovered very nicely to win impressively in the second half. And who better than to help us break down the Hogs and the Razorback football than Trey Biddy of hogsports.com, part of 24/7 Sports. He and their staff over there, Danny West, handles recruiting. They do such a great job over there, and we wanted to catch up with Trey because this is a long-time rivalry and a huge opportunity for Arkansas at 6 o'clock on ESPN on Saturday night. Trey, welcome back to Huntsville. You're with Drew and Scott. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back on with you guys.
It really is, and I love your walk and talks. It's one of my favorite things. I always try to take them in after the Arkansas performance, and I thought it was very interesting some of the observations you made about that comeback over Rice, which was led by what could be the best safety in the SEC in Jalen Catalon.
Yeah, he definitely. I mean, without the Arkansas's defense, they don't win that game. Without Catalan, I don't know if they do. It was just a really sloppy start. I've heard people say stuff like Arkansas maybe was vanilla on offense or on defense, trying to hold things back. Well, I don't know if you stay vanilla when you're down 17-7 against Rice, but I think what the problem was more likely is just some sloppy play. I mean, they came out on the first drive with KJ Jefferson, and he threw. He was going to throw a pass. He was sacked on the first play. You fumbled the opening kickoff. There are 13 penalties. There's a couple of them that I thought were really bad, but they're bad calls in games every single week. But 13 penalties is just too many. KJ Jefferson let some passes fly on him. I don't know if that was a case of nerves or trying to aim the ball too much or what. 3 receivers had drops, including Traylon Burks, which I don't know if I've ever seen him drop a pass. And he missed 2 weeks of practice. You could tell he was a little bit out of sync, coming back from an injury. And, you had a receiver step out of bounds on a 29-yard pass and come back in. You just had a lot of things like that, just too many errors for Arkansas to really rout a team. Otherwise, it might have been like 49-10 if they had, limited their mistakes to a modest amount. So that was, to me, the main problems. And really the thing I think that's most concerning because, when I look at Texas, I saw a team that was more crisp, a little more clean than Arkansas was. Now, defensively, I mean, Arkansas has a chance to have a good defense this year. They have much better depth. They've got some really good players. You mentioned Jalen Catalon, who had 2 interceptions, 11 tackles, tackle for loss. I think he's the best safety that Arkansas has had since Ken Hamlin, probably 2001, and maybe before. You might go back 33 years to Steve Atwater.
I was going to say Steve Atwater's popping into my head. Yeah,
I've been covering this team for a long time and grew up going to Razorback games, and I could tell you every single safety in a row that's ever started for Arkansas, and I think he might be the best. I mean, last year, the first freshman in the SEC to record at least 95 tackles and 3 interceptions since 2007 when Eric Berry did it at Tennessee, and he also did it in a 10-game SEC-only slate. So it's pretty impressive what he did.
Come Saturday, they have a chance. Arkansas has a chance to make a statement to fans outside of Fayetteville that this team is making progress. We've seen the progress. We've watched some of the progress, but we follow SEC football. For those that don't know us, this is a chance for Arkansas to make a statement.
I absolutely agree with it. There's an opportunity here for Arkansas. I think you have to give the edge to Texas, though, just based on how things looked, in week 1 and where Arkansas has been as a program. But this is going to be a hostile environment. I mean, they're 76,000 seats. They'll overflow it for this one. It's a sellout. It's 6 o'clock on ESPN. That's pretty rowdy. Texas has a talented young quarterback in Hudson Card, but he is a redshirt freshman, and this will be his first trip on the road. And my experience, not all the time, but most of the time, that's a problem for redshirt freshman quarterbacks. They usually tend to struggle in settings like that their first time out. So that's something to watch. Absolutely. Arkansas's defense is, again, I think they have a good defense. I think they have much improved depth. The offense just has to be more crisp. Special teams, you can't have a punt block. They had a punt block against Rice. You just can't do that. And Arkansas has been bad on special teams for a while now, not just under Sam Pittman, but a while. It has been, I don't know if I've seen so many blocked punts over a 3-year span in my entire career covering Arkansas. It's just, I don't understand why they can't seem to pull it together. So they have to be better on special teams. Arkansas does have some weapons that, I think KJ Jefferson, if he can get his passing in order, and we saw him throw the ball a lot better last year against Missouri when he threw for 274 and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Also had a rushing touchdown in that game. So we've seen him throw the ball a lot better. But Traylon Burks has to be Traylon Burks in this one. You got to get good production out of the running game. And if KJ can hit his passes, I would expect Texas to drop a safety in the box because he did run so well. He had a 68-yarder called back also in that game, 68-yard run over a holding call that was not holding it by any stretch. And otherwise, he would have had a ton of rushing yards to go with it. But Texas saw the 68-yard run. They saw his 39-yard touchdown run also. So I would expect them to try to bring a guy down the box. And that's what you want if you're Arkansas. You want them to do that because that should help KJ in the passing game. And if he can throw the ball, then he ought to be able to do just about anything he wants. So that's another thing to watch, Arkansas's defense versus their freshman quarterback. And if Arkansas can get back in sync, and then just having to clean up special teams. And, of course, just the environment, and if it has an impact on Hudson Card.
Yeah, and then the experience defensively, a lot of seniors on that side of the ball. Barry Odom in year 2. We saw kind of what they did to Matt Corral as I was having you come into the conversation. They were able to confuse him, turn him over. That's going to be a big part of this game, winning that turnover battle against Texas, Trey.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I always say, and we can kind of encompass it in one thing, but turnovers are such a huge part of the game. Injuries / COVID protocols.
Right.
Turnovers, penalties, special teams are all such key areas, but we can kind of encompass it kind of like the 10 Commandments. Like you can kind of encompass it in one thing, like be a good person, don't do unto others, So with this, to me, it's always, and I state this too much, I overstate it, but it's all about this game is making your opponent pay for the mistakes and the athletes that you have to make them pay at the maximum point, making them pay for the mistakes that they make. Because you always hear people at the end of a game, fourth quarter, it's just like, well, we shot ourselves in the foot. That's what football is. You made a mistake. How badly did they make you pay for it? That's why Alabama is so good. They have the athletes to make you pay the supreme cost of making any error. They always seem to capitalize. And so that's kind of what this comes down to as well. Turnovers, penalties, special teams, all that kind of stuff. It all boils down to limiting mistakes. And that's like a team like Louisiana playing Texas. Louisiana is such a good team, not because they have these tremendous next-level athletes like the SEC has. It's because they're well-coached. They limit their mistakes. They've got a plan and a system they believe in. And that's another part of it also that I think gets often overlooked because people look at what Arkansas has been. You talked about a rebuild job that Sam Pittman had. I don't know if it was quite as big a rebuild job from the talent standpoint. Like, for example, 2019, Western Kentucky comes into Fayetteville, and it's 24-7 at halftime, Western Kentucky, and they end up routing them. Does Western Kentucky have anybody on their roster that Arkansas offered a scholarship to that turned down Arkansas to go to Western Kentucky? Not even a kid growing up in Bowling Green turned down an Arkansas offer to go to Western Kentucky. It's not about the talent so much as, and obviously that's a huge part of it, and the talent needs to improve, but I'm saying from being to a point where, Colorado State's beating you, Western Kentucky, San Jose State, North Texas coming in there and just blowing you out in Fayetteville. Like those kinds of things are a result of the culture, players not fighting for their coach, and just not having any real unity. Offense doesn't like defense. Old guys don't like young guys. There's all these inner turmoils, and ultimately they don't like their coach. They don't like their defensive coordinator. They're not going to fight for him. You can change that, and Pittman has, and that's one reason you saw Arkansas win 3 SEC games last year after not winning one for the last 2 years before that, and almost winning 3 more. I mean, they lost 3 more by a combined 7 points, all coming down to kicks at the end of the game. The only teams that handed it to them are Florida and Alabama and Georgia. They fought Georgia for 38 minutes, and Georgia pulled away from them. They battled Texas A&M all right last year, So does Texas have something more than what Arkansas sees in the SEC every week? I'm not so sure that they do. I think this is going to be a battle. I'm still picking Texas to win just based on what we saw in week one, but Arkansas is the home team here and has some advantages in that regard. But I've seen some Texas fans pick 42-10. I would just be, and that's a team that just kind of rolls over. Mm-hmm. If you beat a team 42-10 in the SEC in their backyard, they've just kind of quit.
Arkansas fans, I'm sure, are glad. Texas fans are glad that we're renewing this rivalry between these two teams. But how fun is it to look at it, the fact that it's going to become a conference game in a couple years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe sooner than that. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we don't.
I mean, I just can't imagine Oklahoma and Texas just playing in the Big 12 for 3 more years, and everybody knowing they're leaving. I think it'll probably get resolved for that. But it's a nice peek in, and I think that's one reason there should be a lot of eyeballs on this game, just because it's with everything that's happened with Texas and OU joining the SEC. And hey, look, here's a little sneak peek, and a weekend that's really not a lot of great games this weekend. So I think a lot of eyes will be on this one.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And Trey, last couple of minutes with you. I think an underrated factor is going to be Traylon Smith since he transferred to Arkansas. I thought he was a really good player last year. He's kind of flown under the radar. He recorded 100 yards against Rice. He'll be a huge factor in this game because I know Bijan Robinson's going to be a guy that Texas is going to try to get a lot of touches to, but Traylon will be a big part of the game plan. What does Arkansas have to do in your mind to get this win?
Well, you're right on Traylon. He's kind of a guy that gets overlooked a lot. He's not a huge back, and that's hurt him sometimes. Arkansas needs a guy that can fall forward and get better third downs. Arkansas hasn't been a great third down team. That's something that always plays a big role, obviously, is converting third down. So you could maybe see more Raheem Sanders also who can kind of fall forward, maybe see him in certain situations. I'm not saying limit Traylon Smith's touches, but Raheem Sanders might need some more. KJ might need some more design runs also. Just maybe that's where this offense kind of heads to running the ball more. So I think that's part of it. But, it all boils down to me, again, to playmakers making plays, Traylon Burks being Traylon Burks, Jalen Catalon continuing to be Jalen Catalon. And overall, don't make those mistakes. Don't beat a team at the end where the fans are going, well, we just shot ourselves in the foot. That's why we lost. I mean, it's such a simple game when you consider, it's those mistakes. And you have to be polished. You can't have a bunch of penalties. Arkansas had 13 penalties in the last game. They need 4 or 5 penalties. Something like that is a reasonable amount. Turnovers, protect the football. And if KJ Jefferson, is on point as a passer, then that could be real trouble for Texas because we know that he can run. And if he can do both, then it'll be hard to stop.
All right, Trey. Well, good stuff there.
Yeah, always great Razorback knowledge coming from Trey Biddy and hogsports.com. Curtis Wilkerson does a great job. Danny West, their whole staff. Trey, we've got some Hog fans in our area that listen to you a lot when you come on here every time. Let everybody know, though, how to connect with hogsports.com. We know you guys are going to have unbelievable coverage of this matchup with Texas.
Absolutely. Free coverage, post coverage, the whole thing. You can follow me on Twitter at Trey Biddy, TreyBiddy. You can go to the website on the 24/7 Sports Network, HAWGsports.com, and it's $1 right now for your first month or 30% off for the entire year if you choose to go that route. And you follow our YouTube channel. It's Hog Sports, just Hog Sports, HAWG Sports. And, you can check out the Walk and Talk, all our post-game, pre-game podcasts, video podcasts and stuff like that. So come check us out. I think you'll be pleased that you did if you're a Razorback fan, lonely out there in Alabama.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good luck to the Hogs. Thank you for taking the time, and we look forward to speaking with you again soon. Thanks.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Trey. Let's get our final break in when we come back. Tomorrow's headlines today.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
If you need a car, McCurry Motors is ready to put you in a quality vehicle, and in-house financing is available. If you have a job, McCurry Motors will work with you even if you have a bankruptcy, divorce, or bad credit. Visit McCurrySaysYes.com. Every car comes with a warranty, and they report to the credit bureau. With 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens, call 256-230-0232, or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville. Call 256-713-0575.
We love our pets, and when we need boarding or vet services, we want the best. That's why we chose Paradise Pet Resort and Spa. Everything our pets needed, all in one place. Boarding for both dogs and cats. Doggy daycare, grooming and spa services, web cameras, and top-notch vet care, too. It's a true Paradise Pet Resort for your furry friends, serving all of North Alabama. Find out everything you need to know and book services online at ParadisePetResortandSpa.com. Located in Madison, just off 565 at Wall Triana, behind Cracker Barrel.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Orange is the color of power, of construction, the color of Kubota, and Huntsville Tractor and Equipment. Those who need to get things done trust Kubota's mini excavators, compact track loaders, and the best keeps getting better with the all-new mini compact loader from one of the top dealers in the country. More than 50 years of family service, every part in the book, and folks who know what to do with them. You'll be seeing orange with Huntsville Tractor and Equipment.
Come on, let's go to work.
Drinking coffee straight from the pot, power move. Wearing a bathrobe to work, power move. Switching to super fast, extra reliable internet from WOW, power move. Switch and save with WOW Internet for just $19.99 a month. It's switching season, so make a move with our end of summer flash sale. This month only, get Internet 100 with no contracts for just $19.99 a month. Plus, get a 2-year price lock and the first month free. Make the switch at wowway.com today.
Wow.
Limited to new customers with autopay and paperless billing. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Never mind fall and football being in the air. We want to taste it.
And never mind not being able to tailgate at the game. Let's create the ultimate barbecue experience in your own backyard.
You said it, Foster Brooks, and that's where Brooks & Collier comes in. Big selection of outdoor furniture.
And a big selection of grills and smokers like Traeger, Big Green Egg, Blaze, even DCS, and more.
This is the good stuff.
And Paul, we definitely got the accessories. And remember, we deliver. Visit us at 813 Meridian Street and shop online at brooksandcollier.com.
It just works. Picture this. You're at home, doing whatever it is you do. Then, pow! The power goes out. Then what? Well, at my house, life goes on. We have a Generac automatic home standby generator from Current Electrical and Generator Services. For your home security and peace of mind, get a free personal consultation on how a Generac automatic home standby generator can protect you. Current Electrical and Generator Services. Call or visit us on the web at HuntsvilleGenerators.com. You've got the power.
Good morning from the traffic center. Got an update on that wreck westbound on 565 on the ramp to southbound Parkway. Reported with injuries. They canceled Himsey on that one. And we got a medical call eastbound on 565. This one's on Chapman Mount. May have a lane blocked up there because of that. The Somnodent from Dr. Sandman's an easy-to-use oral device. No mask, no hose, and it's insurance accepted for sleep apnea and for snoring. 350-CARE or RandallSandlin.com. Captain Nick in the North Parkway, Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It is indeed 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your tomorrow's headlines today. The Johnny Majors Classic, that is what they are calling it, kicks off tomorrow in Knoxville. And Bobby Majors, a 1971 All-American for Tennessee, the brother of the late Johnny Majors, will serve as the captain, the honorary team captain for the Johnny Majors Classic tomorrow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Jackie Sherrill will also be representing Pitt at this game. So, and we know Jackie Sherrill had an outstanding coaching career, his last chapter being at Mississippi State, but he before going to Texas A&M, he was at Pitt as well. I believe he followed Johnny Majors there. So Coach Majors meant so much to both universities. That's a game I'm looking forward to a little bit. It gets started early, 11 a.m. on ESPN, and really looking forward to seeing Tennessee in their second game under Josh Heupel. Are they going to get better? They struggled a little bit against Bowling Green, and they're going to have to because Kenny Pickett, we talked to Vince Ferrara about this yesterday. He's really experienced, Scott. I think he's got more starts than anyone in the country at the same school because, as we've seen, quarterbacks now jump around so much, sometimes playing at 3 different colleges. But he started, I think this will be his 37th start for Pitt. So that's going to be, quite a milestone. He's a really good player. As Vince pointed out, this is a 6-3 team last year when he was available. When he wasn't, Pitt was not nearly as good. So this is going to be, I think, an under-the-radar matchup between the ACC and the SEC, and the ACC really needs Pitt to win this game and NC State to win theirs, because if the SEC flexes their muscles a little bit, if Mike Leach and the crew play a lot better and win at home in Starkville, if Tennessee wins in Knoxville,
that'd be 2 wins.
2 more wins for the SEC, and the ACC would continue their struggles and look forward to the Orange Ball going out and basketball season starting.
You know, last year we were sitting in these same chairs and we were talking about the struggles of one conference, and that was the Big 12.
Yeah.
The Big 12, week 1 and week 2,
yeah.
Oklahoma lost, back-to-back games. I think Oklahoma lost the first week and second week last year.
Arkansas State beat Kansas State.
Yeah, we talked about how bad.
Iowa State lost to Louisiana.
Yep, we talked about how bad the Big 12 was last year.
Yeah.
And, we didn't get to mention this last week, but no team has started 0-1 and made the college football playoffs.
That's true.
So I mean, Clemson 0-1. I mean,
LSU
0-1. I mean, you're going by all these trends. And speaking of the playoffs, don't count the 12-team playoff format to be automatically ushered in later this year. There's a lot of pushback right now developing. The Athletic has uncovered the fact that a lot of chancellors, athletic directors, and presidents of these universities want an 8-team playoff, not a 12-team playoff. They don't want 12. Yeah,
we don't need all these 45-3, beat downs that would basically entail when we're going to 12 here.
A lot of the conferences, a lot of the people in charge, because remember, these athletic directors took a 12-team proposal back to the universities to gauge opinion. The opinion is starting to come back that, hey, wait a minute, let's hit the pause button on a 12-team playoff. Let's look at an 8-team playoff. How about 8 teams rather than 12? Let's not jump to the conclusion that we're getting 12 teams. So that's the big news out of college football. September 28th. Is when they will discuss the feedback that they have gotten from all of the schools and everything. So we'll know more in a couple weeks on where we stand as far as 12 teams playoff go. High school football tonight. Some games to circle if you want. Sparkman hosting Grissom. Albertville hosting Florence tonight. Class 6A, Hartselle taking on Hard Luck Decatur. Decatur's had
they're improved, I mean, they lost last week 24-22 to Muscle Shoals.
And then I think the week before they narrowly lost to Austin, their rivalry. So, last 2 games, 5 points, 2 losses for Jerry Adcock. Buckhorn hosting Coleman. We will have reports from that one coming up later tonight. Big game for Matt Patterson and company. Can they stay unbeaten on the year? May Jemison is hosting East Limestone. Gunnersville is hosting Crossville. West Limestone is hosting Central. That is a big game. Brooks is hosting Priceville. West Morgan is hosting Deschler. Lawrence County is hosting Ardmore. Those are just some of the games from our area that are going on tonight. So get on GoFan, buy you a high school football ticket, and go out and watch some high school football. Take some jackets. Not hot chocolate and cider weather. but it is jacket weather tonight.
Well, and Scott will be, and Chad and the whole gang will be on the North Alabama High School Football Scoreboard Show at 9:30. We will have Austin Clutty and I, Bob Jones hosting the Huntsville Crimson Panthers, and Bob Godsey going for 201 at home against Westminster Christian Academy. Glenn Laird and Steve Moulton on the call.
In case you forgot, Grady's picks for the week: Alabama 54, Mercer 7, Kentucky 28, Missouri 21. Those are Grady the Greek's picks for the week in case you did not hear them on Wednesday.
Everybody have a great weekend of football. We'll be back with you at Bill Penny Toyota, 7:01 a.m. on Monday. Everybody have a great weekend.
See you guys.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation,